Okay, so today we're going to be talking about finding the area of composite figures. And composite figures are just going to be a couple, like different shapes that are kind of jammed together into one singular figure. And the strategy for solving these, one, you're going to need a good knowledge of how to find area. You're going to want your formula sheet. You're going to want all that, a calculator, all that at your fingertips, ready to go, ready to rock and roll. Now, the second thing you're going to need is a little bit of imagination. So, you are going to need to be able to divide a big figure like this one that looks kind of like well, they say it's a pool. I've never seen a pool like that. But you're going to have to divide something like this up into individual shapes. And now they've already kind of done it for us here. They've divided this up into a rectangle, a right triangle, and two semicircles, which is perfect. That's exactly what we would want you to do if you were doing this on your own. So, fortunately, they've already done the hard work for us on this problem. Now all we have to do is find the area of each individual shape. So what I like to do is I like to kind of segment these off and deal with them one at a time. So the first thing I want to deal with is this lovely, lovely rectangle in the middle here, this one. And I know that the formula for the area of a rectangle is going to be base times height or length times width, however you want to denote it. But it's the wideness of it times the height of it. And in this case, we have 32 times 16. So we have 32 times 16, which is going to equal 512. So that's going to be my area for that first shape, that rectangle in the middle. Now I want to move on to my next figure, and in my opinion, the next easiest figure, which is going to be this lovely triangle. Now, for this triangle, we have a base of 32 and a height of 15, and of course our formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 the base, 32, times the height of 15. So what I'm going to do is I am going to multiply that all together. So times 30 equals 240. So 240 square feet. Boom. All right. Well, we're almost done. Now, the last piece we have to do is these two semicircles. And what I'm going to do is I want to shove them together and just call that one whole circle. Now, there will be times where you have to do the whole circle and then divide by 2 because there will only be one semicircle. That is not the case for this problem. So what I would do is I would say, okay, my area for a circle is pi r squared. My radius of this circle is going to be 16 divided by 2, or 8. So I'm going to say 64 times pi. Since 8 squared is 64. So 64 pi, which is about 201.06. Now I'm just going to add my other areas, plus 240 plus 512. And I have a grand total area of 953.06 feet squared. So composite figures is much like eating a whale. You want to knock it down and do it piece by piece by piece, one bite at a time. All right, so on this one, we have that one semicircle to deal with. So I'm going to go through this one a bit quicker. Now I'm going to start with this rectangle again. Length times width, 18 times 8. So 18 times 8, and we get 144 for that rectangle in the middle. Now, we have two identical triangles left. We have a 5 by 8 and a 5 by 8. So they're going to be the same area for each individual one, which our formula is, of course, half the base times the height. So we're going to say half of 8 is 4. 4 times 5 is 20, so each of these is going to be a whopping 20 square feet. Now, the hard part, we have to figure out that circle. And the radius on this circle is going to be half of 18, so that's 9. Now, we have pi r squared 9 squared is, of course, going to be 81. So 81 times pi, which is about 254. So 254, we'll just say 0.47. Now I'm going to add 144 to that, plus 40, or plus 20, and I end up with 438.5. Lovely. Okay. Now, we're trying to find the area of this shaded piece. So, the challenge here is we have one big rectangle, and then we have one little rectangle inside. So what I want to do is I want to find the area of the big rectangle and subtract this piece in here. So for me to find the area of the big rectangle, I'm going to add up these three numbers. So 25, 25, and 20, and that's going to give me my height, which is going to be 50 plus 20, so 70 feet. Now, second piece I have to figure out is my width, which I have three more numbers I'm going to add up. 100, 25, and then this little section over here is also going to be 25. So 150 for the width. So I'm going to do 150 times 70, and I'm going to get 10,500. Now I need to subtract from that this inner rectangle that we already shaded. Now that's 100 by 20. So 100 times 20, which is going to be 2,000. So we're going to subtract 10,500 minus 2,000, which leaves us with 8,500 feet squared. All right. And you know what? That's where we'll stop. I feel like you guys got it from there. Have a great rest of your day. Let us